Sarah Watkins, Long Hot Summer Days from the Peanut Butter Falcon movie soundtrack. Amazing movie. Shia LaBeouf. Trust. Well, I can't play it on speakers, but it's a good song. Anyway, pause that. We're here with Project Ace, which you can tell because of the Project Ace logo here and the Project Ace logo here, which are different logos, which is the same, but no. And then you got this like gold and black sheet, which is mostly Chinese, just explaining everything. Anyway, so, all right, skip all that, skip all the bull. These are a HiBy IEM. HiBy like HiBy the DAP. HiBy this. This is the FD5. So they make probably right now the best DAPs available. HiBy is just on fucking fire. And I'm talking about they make two that I care about. The $2,000 R8 Mark II, which this is the amplification from. This FD5 module, which is just the amplification from their flagship DAP without the R2R DAC attached to it, and it's a desktop unit. And they make the R4, which is like the Cyberpunk Evangelion one. And now they want to have an IEM that goes along with it. But there's a few things we got to note. Sound-wise, as long as you can handle a little bit of spicy treble, a little spice in the treble, you'll be fine. If you can't handle spicy treble, don't. That said, let's look at them because they are super fucking interesting. Regardless of anything on the end of the spectrum, we have got these massive, what the hell's pentagons. They're massive blue pentagons with these stripes. They're huge. Like, what the hell's in here? Zeos 97 things? A single 12mm dynamic, which is pretty interesting. It's beryllium. I am not using the stock tips. We're going to have to talk about tips for a while. We'll get through like boxes. Comes with HiBy tips, foams and silicones. I would avoid the foams if you don't want to have your ear balls ripped out. The silicones are okay. I was going through a couple different ones. I actually started, because I saw foams in there, I started on the render tips. No. And then I did their foams, and it was like, no. And then I did the Duno SS's, which are usually like my default go-to, and they were okay. We're starting to get into touch with our like softer side. And then I'm like, well, fuck, if we're going soft, let's go with the Divinius Velvets. And I now have wide-bore Divinius Velvets, which are wild, because look, they literally are just like exposing the center. So the less tunnel you have to shoot that down, the less intense the treble is going to be entering your ear hole. So I'm going to link, I should link them in every video, the Divinius Velvet wide bores. Not just good for these, good for other things as well, right? Right. This is the weirdest thing about the IEM. The cable is quite nice. $250, by the way, in case you're wondering. It is available on Amazon and on HiBy Direct for $250. $250. 12mm dynamic magnesium and Li. What's Li? What is that? The medical composition? Alloy dome. BE plated diaphragm, which is beryllium. High magnetic core. Exclusive TVAC. CNC carve. Exclusive TVAC with, I don't know what any of this means. None of this matters. All those are words. All that matters is I sit here and I enjoy the feel of the wire and the way they sit in my head and the way they play. That's all that matters. None of the specs fucking matter. The price doesn't even matter. All that matters is is what it feels like. If it didn't have that insane treble, like, it wants to reach out and touch you, but not just your ears. It wants to go past your ears and into your brain and be like, hey, do you remember this part of the song that you listened to when you were a kid? And you're like, no. So get beyond that and let's talk about the rest of it, because it has excellent bass. 12mm dynamic's going to hit you. And it's not like exorbitant. It's not aerospace. It's just like, ooh, that is a solid hit. Oh, I unplugged the thing, so it freaked it out. Yeah, that unit, I haven't done the review on the main channel of that unit yet. That unit, when you unplug things from it, it disappears from its USB, so it just doesn't exist. Wire nice, box nice, tips nice. Look at this. With the separate chambers, we've got interchangeable heads, or interchangeable, I should say, connectors. They're fucking strange. So here's the 3.5. Here's a little ear brush and a cap. This, look at this. You have to unscrew this, and there's this big gap that it slides in and out of, and that's on purpose. And you pull it out, and you get the 4 pins. So you are running constantly a right angle. And it's this massive, like, knurled metal thing with a stripe here, which matches the IEM, which is nice. But it has that stupid pin system that's not colored. So there's a little dimple there, and there's a little dimple there. And if you don't get them right, you can put this in the wrong direction. You get all sorts of weird backwards facing. So push it together, slide this collet up, and just tighten it on. That is a lot happening right here in this bit. But it'll look so cool coming out of the R4. So cool. Also, this extends quite a bit. So this actually has a little metal extension and then the plastic extension. So you'll have no problem going into the case on the R8 if you decide to spend $2,000 on that thing, which, spend $2,000 on that thing. Either the thunder is hitting or there's cars hitting my house. It's one of those two. You've got a thick, boy, four wire going up into a knurled split, which matches the knurling on this. Isn't that all nice? Into 2 smaller twist wires into a, look, the knob. They just took another one of the knobs and they put it here, but without the threading. So it's synergy. It rhymes. Up to a big heavy loop, which is 2-pin in here. You can swap the wire out if you want. I really wouldn't. Wire's super nice. HiBy can make a wire. HiBy can make units. HiBy is a unit in general. Let's take it off of the HiBy player and put it into something stranger for it. Because I'm going to give these a recommendation, but it's going to be with a warning. If you're going to buy these, and they're good, they're fucking sexy, god damn it. By the way, I don't know who F Audio is, but it's kind of an awesome name. It's like F Audio. Well, that's her name. Get them with different tips, or at least play around with different tips. Oh, another thing I found is when I put them in my ear, like you could see there should be straight, like there. That one sort of goes out, even if I touch them like face to face. They're both sort of heading in this direction. So I would get a heat gun out or a hairdryer and just bend that one back a little bit. That's the only physical flaw with the wire. But then again, HiBy doesn't make many IEMs, so I'll give them a slight break. That's not working with anymore. You can go off. We're going back to her. We're going to go to Konosuba. We're going to go to Rocco Demone Blues. Not get a copyright strike. So, way improvement with the wideboard tips for the sibilants. I would call it sibilants. More like treble aggression. By the way, this is a padded top. They don't sound close and close in. They are stepped back a little bit. If you're not blasting them, which I tend to play IEMs a little bit louder. I'm like, get to the point, IEM, volume 9 out of 10. If you play them at like a volume 5, volume 6, they're a much more tolerable, just big night. You're in a club. You're in a nightclub. Kazuma's singing. It's great. It's great. Just, I'm happy here. I'm happy here. As soon as I turn it up, though, to like where I want to like be, it's like, back it up. Certain songs, it's obviously perfect. John Wick, LED spirals. Let's have some bass. Hold on. Oof. Oh, I could take it all the way to destruction of my earlobes. Holy shit. And that's just a slathering of slappy, happy bass. And the treble's not murderous because there's no real treble in the song. Ooh, there's another nice good one for low end. Wait. Kill la kill. Yeah, and they're doing imaging things and it's like popping off. Like you just tell. It's like when you wear big hi-fi mins, like the HE1000s or Aria. It's like the driver's that big. And you could just tell. And with these at a 12mm dynamic, you could just tell. I don't know what they're doing inside this giant chamber, but they're doing something to make it expose me to this just huge bit of sound. Yeah, any other company makes this, and I would be like, eh. but it's HiBy. And they make the best DAPs in the world, and they made this to probably work with their DAPs. I'm sure they were tuned on nothing but HiBy things. So the fact that I could run it on other things and be like, all right, a little bit harder, a little bit softer. Let's go over to the just Black Ice Audio FX10H with an adapter box. Oh, yeah. Big dynamics. Love a tube. Oh, fucking things are now happening in my ears. I like how they use the same shape on everything. These are all the same shape. It hits you occasionally with like a sparkle that's just like a little bit too bright. But if you just lower that volume back to like normality and not like blasting. I'm going to give these a 7 out of 10. I have to decide on a number. If they didn't have that treble just eking in there, they'd be an 8 or a 9 easy. Just the build quality alone and like what you get, other than that being slightly off. Just be there. Be more there than there. This one is fine. This one goes in towards the tip. This one goes out away from the tip. So it gets a little weird. Other than that, and the treble being just fucking smallest bit. 7 out of 10. And the wire is... I like this. I don't think it's going to catch on. I don't think I'm going to be looking for... Honestly, what's everyone's opinion in the comments on right-angle connectors? In general. Just in general. Because I know HiFiman throws them on some of their headphones, like desktop headphones with 10-foot wires and a right angle. I'm like, why? It doesn't make it easier on a desk. It would make it easier on a portable. To like put in your pocket. If you put the wire down, you would have a much easier time. But in general, if you had to choose one or the other, which would it be? Because I'm not generally sold on this. I wouldn't mind if this had an alternate option where I could take this off and put a straight one on. Then it'd be even better. But yeah, no, Project Ace is a 7 out of 10. It comes with plenty of accessories. I like the box. I like the fact you have interchangeable things that are fucking weird. And it does come with a nice selection of tips. Even if you don't want to use them on this IEM, the foams are really, really nice. And the silicones are just fine. So yeah, wallpaper hoard. Project Ace available at your Project Ace hardware store. No, it's not at the hardware store. Although if Ace Hardware teamed up with HiBy to make Project Ace a thing, that would be awesome. You go in and get your, homewares and then boom, headphones. Anyway, I'm done, you're done, she's done. Links to these, I'll link to them on Amazon and on HiBy's site. And you should check down there for all the tips I usually run through. Or in a nice list. If you're doing anything with IEMs more than like 2 a year, you should have like a selection of tips just to try them. Because there are some IEMs that just do not work with their stock tips. Or they, like my JoJo collab, don't work with their stock tips. If you have a slightly bigger head, they just won't work. You need the Duno SS tips just to extend them. And that would be a suck if you got them and tried to make them work and you didn't have anything lying around. So yeah, I would prepare for that. Anyway, these done. I really like the color too. The blue is so fucking nice. All right. HiBy, your DAPs are 10 out of 10. Your IEMs are 7 out of 10. Still love you, and thank you for sponsoring me out to London Can Jam. So the links to them for that was great. Anyway, wallpaper and the wallpaper hoard. Patreon subscribers to support this channel and all these honest reviews. Moving on.